This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
One last time.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
What about our Quasar podcast?
Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever appointed Protector of the Universe. Bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that are both weapons and symbols of his station, he fights an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil as Quasar.
Hello and welcome back to the Quantum Zone, episode 152, the last one, at least for a while. I am Phil, joining us always, master of the Quantum Zone.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And master of all trades, it is.
This is Matt. Hi, everybody.
It's quite easy for 152 different, I'm going to pull up a whole different things for our upcoming Green Lantern show. Different alien races.
I have no idea. So we've already done the announcement of our Green Lantern show coming up. Well, starting next week, but like I said, every once in a while maybe we'll drop in a Quantum Zone here or there if there's news, the character hits the MCU, or if he makes a big comic book appearance. We'll just drop it in the middle of the week or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, did Grunwald write the Star Masters series?
I believe so, didn't he?
I think so. I wasn't sure.
So was that his final Quasar works?
I think it was. I was trying to pin down some of those, and I hadn't got around to looking at the dates yet to see.
It went in the Cosmic Power, so did he might have finished it up there.
Yeah, I think it was 3 issues in Star Masters, and then it was finally finished up in Cosmic Powers.
Yeah, unless I missed something, I'm pretty sure that was his last Quasar.
Yeah.
The news is let's see if I can find it. Guardians of the Galaxy. There's like a big. Was it March or April? I think there's an upcoming arc. They say, like everyone shows up and Quasar is going to be in that group. It's one of those ones who's going to stand with the Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're not going to, they're not going to make us happy and make Quasar a permanent part of the team.
Yeah, probably not.
It. Sure, they're not going to. Let's see. I'm trying to find this, but yeah, it's and I guess they're saying it's still going to be Al Ewing, but it's like, the Guardians are getting more superhero-y again. Probably a little less than the movies. It's like, yeah, until the third movie comes out.
Well, and Ewing's he's a really good writer. His Immortal Hulk is really impressive.
Oh yeah, really like it. Yeah. Again, you got me with Joe Fixit. I mean, he just he's one of those writers where he takes the stuff that came before and makes shine.
Uses it to make it better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Continuity as a bonus instead of a crutch or a hindrance, right?
Yes. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is why. Okay. Yes. The Guardians of the Galaxy 13, which legacy numbering will be 175th issue, will introduce the book's new lineup, reveal the Guardians' bold new mission. Because on this one cover, it's like Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, Nova, and then it's like Hulkling and Wiccan. Or should I say Emperor Hulkling? And
then I think there's an alternate cover for it that you sent out.
I don't see it right here, but yeah, there was an alternate one with Quasar and a bunch of other people on it. Yes, I think who did the art on that? Yeah, let's see. But yeah, it's so yeah, I don't know how big of an appearance Quasar will make. Hopefully, we get more than like we've gotten, what was that annual, like
A panel or two.
kind of faded out of the background. There we go. Yeah, there's a cover with Quasar, Nova again. Looks like Super Skrull, and then Moondragon and Phyla.
Oh, so Annihilation era.
Yeah, they're good old superhero, and I'm guessing 90s because they're all like wearing jackets.
What do they got for cargo pants, though? Come
Yeah.
on.
How many pockets? Do they have enough pouches?
How many clones you got on that team, son? Let's see. I'm try to pull up the picture here so I can share it. But oh yeah, hey Matt, did you see? I guess our last Scarlet Spider episode went up today. So Ray was sharing it all over the place. He's like, yeah, come listen to me and the other Scarlet pimps.
Wow.
He must be drinking that wine, man.
Damn,
Well,
man.
maybe he's going for the the Scarlet Pimpernel was a
Yeah.
thing.
He kind of hit it around. I'm like, oh, backtrack. Let's see.
Maybe he started to say Pim particles, but just shortened it to pimps.
But yeah, he's so yeah, Scarlet Spider went up today. Well, I'm trying to get this where did I put that picture?
I think you sent us the link or the image in our chat.
Oh yeah. No, I just saved it to my computer, so let's see if I probably gonna be real small and stuff, so let's see. Yeah, just so anybody watching this video can see it. There we go. It's kind of small, but okay, so yeah, there's Quasar on the right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, two Quasars, I guess.
Who's the? Oh, that's Phyla?
Yeah, in the middle, the blue.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Cosmic Awareness or whatever going. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then that's Moondragon next to her. Of course, see the big Super Skrull. Like I said, Nova's on both covers, so I'm assuming Nova's going to be staying around.
Well, Nova and Quasar, they're in many incarnations of cross paths slightly.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, look at that cover. Everyone gets a jacket except for Quasar. Even like Super Skrull gets a jacket.
yeah.
But it looks like Moondragon, Super Skrull are wearing the original Guardian type outfits because they were kind of the Dirty Dozen in the Annihilation Conquest series.
Yeah, I think they're going back to that kind of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a Ron Lim cover.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought it was Ron Lim. Yeah, if I can get my hands on that, not only is it Quasar, but it's Ron Lim. Yeah.
Very cool.
I just don't like those big shoulder spiky things on Quasar, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you poke your eye out if you turn wrong, right? Ow, I'm blind.
Yeah.
Why he doesn't have a jacket? But yeah, that like 90s. Well, we'll get into it here soon. That the costume he had for the second half of the series is probably the best.
Mm-hmm. I actually have. I was thinking about this the other day, so I've got some thoughts about Grunwald basically losing the plot, and as we get further along, I'll try to remember to bring that up.
Okay. But I mean, some of those crossovers might have discouraged him because I thought I read somewhere where he was just like, they wanted him to like nullify Quasar, in Infinity War, and it's like you basically kill him. He's like, I already killed him. It's like, gonna go to this well again.
Yeah, I mean, we got some cool things out of that, but we also got Marvel Boy, so
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
it kind of balances, right?
No, we'll get into that. So, anything else? Any cool comics or shows or anything? Or hey, did everyone watch episode 3 of WandaVision?
I didn't. Not yet. I've been
did.
super busy.
I will not spoil it. It has an interesting ending.
I think I got like a mild spoiler or something about another character that's related or something, but I don't know. I have to I just have to go watch the next couple episodes and catch up. Maybe I'll wait until Friday, then I can have a little binge.
Yeah, so that'll probably be good. I saw something somewhere that this week they said they're going to start giving us answers, which I hope so. It's episode 4, and I think they're
right. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. So.
Well, with the end of episode 3, we kind of some things are revealed, or at least a thing is revealed.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of see something, but it's like,
yeah,
how does that thing?
Yeah, you don't know what it necessarily means, but something is revealed, and yeah.
And I mean, we don't see either way, but I was going to say, I mean, we saw a bunch of their neighbor Herb in episode 3. Is Herb Herbert Wyndham, the High Evolutionary?
Very possibly.
I just every time they hear the name Herb, I'm like, oh, is it High Evolutionary?
Yeah, I've always kind of liked the High Evolutionary ever since the Evolutionary War. That was one of the first big annual crossovers in all the annuals, and he had such ties to, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Vision. I mean, the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. It was just cool.
And then by the 90s, he even had connections because I guess he taught Miles Warren everything he knew about cloning.
Mm-hmm. But also, you got to love a guy that has a handle, on his helmet. It's just, makes things easy, right?
Takes a confident man to rock some purple armor.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it really easy for anybody to save me. I'm gonna put a handle on my head.
Good Lord.
I finally got around to reading the first issue of Black Widow.
I did see that in the newsletter. Yeah, you said you really enjoyed it. Yeah,
and it was good. The covers are good. I've got the first issue I was missing, so I for my birthday I went out and got some back issues, and that was one of them I got. So I can start catching up now and reading the rest of the series. So that'll be cool. But I've been hearing things about the artist. What is her name? I should know this. It's in the newsletter.
Open the newsletter.
But the artist, she does some pretty amazing action scenes.
Oh, that's what
she really does.
It's like an action movie.
Mm-hmm. Because that opening scene in that first issue is just, that's pretty amazing. It's the way she stages it is awesome.
I had the newsletter. Plus, it's in my other email.
I'll find it.
But I'm like subscribed on like 2 different emails.
Let's see. It is.
Yeah, the art's incredible. The story is great.
Elena Casagrande.
Yes.
Also, the Jordi Belair is the colorist, and I think Corey Pettit is the letterer. With of course those great Adam Hughes covers, and Kelly Thompson is pretty awesome writer. Putting out some good stuff these days.
Yeah, I just ordered 2 comic books online because, we'll kind of give us a plug here for our Green Lantern podcast. Like episode 3, we're going to be covering those Action Comics issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the stuff gets wrapped up. I'd barely heard of these, like the Green Lantern special #1 and #2. Like I couldn't find it anywhere digitally. It wasn't in DC Universe. Even the website we go to sometimes, it wasn't even on there. I'm like, where the hell? It's like, so I like ordered 2 floppies, and
I'll have to look those up.
They're supposed to be here between Saturday and Tuesday, but I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
So if we have some dangling plot threads from those Action Comics issues, I'll be like, I could fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And wasn't there a wrap up that had Superman and Green Lantern after the Action Comics stuff? Neil Gaiman maybe wrote it or something.
Maybe, yeah, I do have that, but there's like we'll get there when we get to episode 3, but of Sector 2814, but there's like specific stuff in those Action Comics. I know it says that issue 1 and 2 wraps up. What is it, like 35 issues of Action Comics? Well, I mean, found the website where it just gives you summaries of each arc. So
You might want to share those with us, just
Okay.
just to make sure we're all on the same page.
I'll share the link to the page, because I mean, yeah, it's 35 issues, but the Green Lantern stories, which are all we're going to cover, is only a couple pages in each issue.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember right, there's really only one super important thing that happens, and we'll get into that. Yeah, exactly.
Best left unsaid.
Yes.
We'll tell you in 3 weeks.
What about you, Matt? Anything good lately?
I haven't been reading too much non-baby related stuff lately. We're going through some classes today. My wife and I were expecting a kid in May, so we're reading through some stuff like that. And haven't had a ton of free time to veg out with some comics, but I got some time put aside to do a little crash course in Green Lantern, getting ready for the new phase of things. So
cool, very cool.
Green Lantern, as we say here in Boston.
We're gonna school you and Ray on some Green Lantern. Yeah.
Good.
And probably us as well. There's a lot of the stuff that I have not read yet, which I'm kind of looking forward to. And
oh, really? Even that 90s stuff you haven't read a bunch?
Well, the 90s stuff, I was getting it as it came out, but the Action Comic stuff, I think I just glossed over most of that. And just
I hadn't read a lot of that, so yeah, I just read through them recently. Yeah, and like a lot of, I don't think except for maybe an issue or two, eventually we're gonna get to the guy. We're gonna add the Guy Gardner book in there. I hadn't read any of that Guy Gardner.
Oh yeah, the Guy Gardner. I think I maybe have the original limited series. I think it was like 3 issues where he got the Sinestro's ring.
Yeah.
And then he got his own ongoing, and I don't think I was down for the ongoing at that point.
Yeah, no. The most I got was Green Lantern and Mosaic. That was it.
Yeah, no, Mosaic is...
Oh, the John Stewart one. Yeah, that
is amazing. It's so unlike anything else that DC was doing at the time.
I was going to say, and then it only lasted 18 issues, but that might have been Emerald Twilight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait till we get there, kids. On camera. And how Jordan breaks bad. You're gonna see
that was hard. That was a hard time for this Hal Jordan fan many years ago. Yes.
So yes, kids, we're gonna get some Green Lantern because again, I think we're gonna get a lot more. You're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck with Green Lantern content going forward. And hey, I think it's gonna draw more attention to all of us because hey, kids, these two deserve more attention. This creative genius writer and this comedian who no one matches his comedic timing.
Oh wow.
Well, thank you, but I'm looking forward to talking some Green Lantern. I think it'll be fun, and hopefully Quasar will make a comeback at some point, and we can start talking about that too.
Oh, like I say, oh yeah. Every once in a while we'll do some Quasar.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, should we get to some Quasar?
Let's rock on.
Yeah.
All right, so the second part of our retrospective. So we're going to start at issue, 26 and 27, the Infinity Gauntlet crossovers.
And I have a theory, and it's just complete supposition. So don't take this. I have no special knowledge. It's just a hunch.
Yep.
If you look at the way Green Lantern.
Next week you could be like Quasar.
If you look at the way Quasar 25 ends.
Oh, I think you've said this before. You thought he wrote it like it could have been the end of the series.
I think I really think that, and I don't know this, but I think Capullo coming on added buzz to the series and probably improved sales, and they kept going, and so then we got 26 and 27, which is where we are now. But he started off in these issues kind of giving him, because we still have some really great stories ahead, in the series. The whole Operation Galactic Storm was built from, a Quasar crossover, right? I mean, it was Quasar story that ultimately spilled out into the other Avengers books and Thor and Iron Man and Captain America and all those things. So, but I think he kind of, after Galactic Storm, I feel like he kind of ran out of gas a little bit.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get up there, we can start talking about maybe why. But 26 and 27 are some pretty. 27 has some of the most beautiful art. That splash page for 27 is just amazing.
Because 26 was a fill-in, and then it goes back to 27.
And it was just, it was Thanos crossover that actually never happened, right? Because Infinity Gauntlet rewound everything. Is that?
Did they rewind it, or they just didn't remember it?
Or it didn't happen? I don't remember what exactly. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how all that worked. And if that didn't happen, then how come Marvel Boy was still around? Because then Thanos talked to him later. So
that's what I'm saying, I just think people may have not just remembered it. And it's like, wasn't it like an evil clone who fought the Fantastic Four? So is this the same evil clone Thanos brought back, or did he create like another evil clone?
Ice cream clones. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, and that battle with the other, the former clone protectors, whatever you want to call them, that Thanos created, that was pretty cool. That was a running battle that he was fighting against, other protectors that were as well versed in the bands as he was. So there was, and they had the majority of numbers. So. But he was still able to come out on top, which was, it was a great issue. It really was.
And hey, Ray, most important part, appearance by Moon Knight in 27.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. It's big.
Who?
Eon's body is running amok. Oh! What the F? Oh, and then 27 also gave us a first appearance, Epoch.
That's right. Yep, absolutely, which is a really good thing. And did we saw that the last appearance of Epoch was probably during Star Blast, or did she show up? She may have showed up in 57 or 58 to help. Oh yeah, because he was trying to find Kismet, and because I don't know that she showed up in the Star Masters or Cosmic Power. But
yeah, it's. I think. Did she ever show up again at some point?
No, I don't think. Oh wait, she did show up in the. Oh, I had to remember. You made me remember this. Oh, this hurts me so bad. Remember when the Black Panther put a sleeper hold on the Silver Surfer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
He can fly through stars, so a little neck pressure is gonna.
You don't want to impede someone's breathing that doesn't need a helmet in space
to breathe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more and more every day. I mean, like Black Panther is like the Marvel version of
Batman.
Well, and that story. I mean, Dwayne McDuffie, I think, is the writer at that point, and McDuffie's a good writer. It's just that they were trying to make Gravity the new protector of the universe or something.
Oh yeah.
It was just this weird story that didn't kind of make any sense from a continuity perspective. But I think that's where the last time Epoch showed up. It's been. I'll have to double check that later, but I think for the most part didn't show up in Annihilation, and didn't show up in the Nova appearances or Annihilators or the second Annihilators Earthfall that I know of, or even the Guardians of the Galaxy books.
That's what I'm saying. Except for one or two appearances here and there, I think the last appearance was Grunwald did the most with this character.
Mm-hmm. And it could be. I mean, geez, it may have been 20 years since that character's appeared.
Oh yeah, I'd say at least 15, because what was that, that Gravity one, you were talking about, that was like mid-2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'll see what I can find while we're talking.
I'd say it's got to be at least 10, 15 years. So what do you think? What did you think of 26 and 27, Matt?
I can't offer too much more insight than what you guys did. I'm still on board. I love the artwork, and
and this is when we really started getting into Blue Dragon. Quasar, why don't you love me?
Yes. Yes, that was quite an interesting little arc there, which gives us, and part of it, I think, what Quasar gets so much ridicule is the cover to 28, right? Which is a parody. Which is a parody of a parody.
29. Yeah.
29. Yeah.
Right.
Cover to 29. Which is a little disappointing, but
yeah, because 28 and 25 is when he first meets Kismet, or well, her at the time, man.
Mm-hmm.
She knocks him up and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, Hercules, which had some great, smite me, right?
How did I not get a drop of Matt Kona just straight?
You were asleep at the wheel.
I don't
know.
Yeah, it's this might be too late to do it now, but
Oh, and issue 28, like the first, like. Well,
I love the costume changes too, back and forth.
Oh yeah, because remember they fixed that continuity error. Yeah, but it's them setting up the apartment they never used after this.
Yeah, pretty much.
So do you think that was like another thing Grunwald changed course on? It was like, why are we setting up this apartment if we're like never there?
Yeah, we don't live there, so what's going on? Why are we doing this?
I mean, he did stuff with the Star Brand and stuff, but I mean, Kayla almost in like his business almost seemed like that. Also, it's just like he had a plan for all this Earth stuff, and it's like it's like we on Earth that much.
And it was completely abandoned, and then even when he got back to Earth, it was completely abandoned again. So.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when's the last time Wendell had an actual like hand in running the business? I mean, It might have been before Journey wasn't it? Oh no.
Maybe
like the beginning
6
of
or 7.
Maybe like the beginning of Cosmos, maybe.
Yeah, they did. They had a meeting. They were celebrating, right? There was, and then actually, and the business was used for Maelstrom to drag him out to the mansion.
Yeah, then they get the call. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They went to a party, a Donner party.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. So that was 20. So 29, we had her.
Yeah, I remember Quasar was the only worthy one because he was the only one trying not to
get
rid of that cocoon on his neck.
Yeah.
Even like Wonder Man was like trying to get it lasered off or whatever.
Yeah, and then it was cool because Grunwald, I think, kind of tried to fake. He faked everybody out a little bit. At the end of the story, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to go, tour the universe and learn how to become blah blah blah." And she's like, "No, wait, I want to stay here." So it was that typical ending that you would get from some 70s character that would show up for one issue and then just go off and you'd never hear from again, probably winding up on the Stranger's Planet. Yeah. But she kind of jumped out and then came back and then was part of the regular cast for a while, which was pretty cool. I mean, as far as the post Cosmos cast, we didn't get to see much of Ken. We probably got a little too much of Kayla because of the Star Brand. But and then the new HD, which turned out to be Rishkagal or whatever her name was. But yeah, once Operation Galactic Storm is over, them heading out, to go try to fix things in the universe was a pretty cool, change in the kind of the status quo for the book. At least I thought it was. But Galactic Storm was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people
massive.
I think a lot of people look back on Galactic Storm as, one of those rare good crossovers.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially for the '90s, it wasn't just like didn't seem like a complete cash grab, and there's actually like a point to it, and stuff happened.
But it worked with old established books and some of the more under the radar and newer titles too. It was the early days of Wonder Man.
I was gonna say probably helped Quasar, Wonder Man. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, but as issue 29, as a 13-year-old boy when it came out, I'm sure Capullo drawn Herd didn't hurt sales either.
No, it did not. Not at all. It was he started out really good, and then he took a quantum leap forward in 27, and I think he's still quantum jump, and I think he's still, you would see him kind of making small improvements, as the series went along, just getting better and better. If it weren't for Quasar, we wouldn't have got the Snyder Capullo Batman, I don't think, because he really worked out a lot of his storytelling chops and became, he also went and worked on Spawn for a long time too.
He had a long run on Spawn, yeah.
But I feel like Quasar was his first ongoing book, and he learned a lot from probably Grunwald and from his inkers and the other artists on the book, and he probably figured a lot of things out too for himself. But yeah,
he got a lot of practice too, because just like issue 27, 28, a lot of Marvel characters showed up for these issues. Once you get the Galactic Storm, Infinity War, you got a good practice drawing probably most of the Marvel universe in this series.
Oh yeah, Thanos in the Infinity War crossover. Wolverine, of course. Let's see, he got to draw Ghost Rider, Spider-Man. He got to draw Spider-Man at some point, right?
Wait, no.
Spider-Man show up?
Spider-Man
showed up in the early series, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was Paul Ryan. That was Mike Manley. I don't know if he got to draw Spider-Man, but he got to draw.
I was gonna say, unless he was in the background or something, but
I don't think he was. He might have been in the background while the characters were at the Fantastic Four headquarters. Remember, before everything blew up?
Maybe. Although Spider-Man didn't even make it that mean. He got attacked by.
Oh, that's right. He got attacked. That's right. So yeah, I bet you. So he probably didn't get to draw Spider-Man, but he got to draw everybody else, right?
Oh yeah.
Wait, did you say Fantastic Four headquarters? Did you mean the Vaughn Security Building? That's the same place.
Good point.
Yeah. That's how I know it.
So anytime that anyone breaks into their headquarters, Fantastic Four is like, don't blame us, blame that security firm.
Yeah, the security firm down there, it's their fault. They're.
That's what I wonder is like, is Ken still have that company running somewhere?
I think a writer could pick up a lot of threads from just not only that era of the book, but kind of that era of Marvel, because a lot of series that were going on at that point just aren't. I think they're having a Darkhawk celebration right now. What is it, 30 years of Darkhawk or something? So I think Mike Manley was doing another cover or something here recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of 90s stuff that's like it has an anniversary this year. Darkhawk, Deadpool. Yeah, because did you see that announcement? There's a new hero. They're announcing a new Heroes Reborn, but I think it's like spinning out of the Avengers book. I don't know. Somebody messes with something, so now the Squadron Supreme is going to be like the world's superheroes.
Yeah, and weren't they combining like Marvel characters with each other or something?
A few of them, yeah, because it was like Doctor Doom and the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I think I saw that picture. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but speaking of more friends, the Squadron Supreme, who I think them and Phil Coulson may be working for Mephisto or under his control or something. But yeah, reality's going to get altered, and they're going to be like the superhero team.
Okay. Like for the distinguished competition.
Oh. And I just love the internet. It's just, it was up, so one of the pages had announced it on Facebook, and one of the comments, man, that Hyperion guy's a rip off of Superman. It's like, that's the point. Read a book, kids.
Or ask somebody,
A quick Google search, kids.
Yeah.
Oh, but who Capullo also got to draw? Some new universe.
That's right, DP7. So yeah, when we get up to
30 and 31, yeah.
30 and 31.
Oh yeah, because you draw some of that what if stuff, yeah.
Yeah, 30's got a great cover on it. That cover is just awesome. Because it hits some of those classic what if stories. I think we even
right, the X-Men died on their first mission. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's one. And another one was Korvac had destroyed the universe, I think.
Oh yeah, like the first series, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some really old what if stuff. And but that second one,
if you look at the portal, yeah, they show a bunch of
This was also, I think, the time that Matt and I learned that Phil is a bona fide what if geek, because he was telling us about the covers for every issue up to like 50, right?
Oh my lord, that second series of what if. God, I love that series. It was like right around the time I was getting into comics. I just yeah. Started with that.
My first comic was what if Craven had killed Spider-Man.
I remember that
was
one.
like the first comic I ever read.
17, yes.
Well, and to bring this back around to the beginning, and a certain dude that wears a handle on his head. What if they lost the Evolutionary War?
I know.
It was the very first issue. I remember reading that. Going, I love the crossover. Now I get the what if version of it.
Yeah.
Well, they did do a special before that one. I don't know. It was just like a one shot. It was like, what if Iron Man had been a traitor? So I guess, he gets captured and he actually does start working for the enemy. But yeah,
I don't know if I've seen that one. I'll have to look that one up. That one's
I think it's him in that first gray armor, and he's like surrounded by a bunch of heroes and stuff on the cover. Yeah,
very cool. But yeah, the crossover with DP7 I thought was kind of cool at the time, but then
too much Starbrand.
We get too much Starbrand. I mean, Starbrand just overruns the book. It infects the rest of the book, actually, like a virus.
Do you think there was too much Starbrand, or was there too much Starbrand with Kayla?
Both. I think both. I mean, it was cool to see. I mean, Kayla justified why they had it and why it became such a big thing. But to get to, I don't want to take, Will probably has a much more precise way of saying it or spot to say it. But when we know how much Grunwald loves involving underused or comic characters from the past, and it was cool that he did this, but I think it kind of spiraled out of control a little bit, where he kind of focused too much on that as opposed to endearing Quasar to the relevant present universe, to maybe get more to talk about it from a financial point, to get more readers. There wasn't probably a massive contingent of DP7 people that just decided to start reading Quasar because of their inclusion in it, but I don't know.
Well, and I think too, Grunwald never really fleshed Kayla out. She was always just kind of the girlfriend, right? And that's not.
And they had like by the time she gets to Starbrand, they had what, one date, maybe 1.5.
Yeah. And we didn't really know much about her. And then when she had the Starbrand, we still didn't know much about her. And it was just, it felt very plot heavy instead of more character driven. And
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think it didn't help that we didn't get a lot with Wendell and Kayla together.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the 31, he gives her the Star Brand. 32 starts Galactic Storm.
And then he's gone, and
Yeah,
she's gone.
They don't see each other until what, like 50?
40.
I don't think him and her are together until 50.
No, is it like 48 or 49? Because
she gets back to Earth on like 48 or 49, but I don't think he actually, because remember he goes to the office in 50, and
and she and her fight. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
I don't know. Kayla. I don't think Grunwald necessarily put in the work to make us believe that they had this, real connection and this love that was going to conquer whatever,
But yeah, it's like 32 to 50. That's like what, 18 issues, like a year and a half. Him and Kayla aren't anywhere near each other.
Mm-hmm. And before that, they had been near each other, like what, 3 or 4 issues. Maybe they went to the mansion, and he kind of lost his arm, so that probably wasn't considered a successful date, So.
But yeah, I mean, she was set up as the love interest. But yeah, once he went more cosmic and her showed up, I think he should have just went that Guardians of the Galaxy route and got with her Kismet.
I think that would have been. And hey, that happened in an alternate reality, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the crossover with the new universe was kind of this inspired lunacy that worked out really well. I mean, because it's a really good little solid story, and it shows how he operates. He thinks, hey, I'm here. What does this mean? What's going on? Why is this not, blah, 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 and it shows how logically he moves and does, from one problem to the next. And Grunwald got to play with those characters again, which I'm sure he loved, because he and Paul Ryan worked on them for, literally years.
Yeah, and I mean, the Starbrand stuff could have been good, but it probably just got dragged out too long because of the crossovers. Because I mean, it's like Operation Galactic Storm, then you get the 3 issues, then bam, you're in the Infinity War already.
And then he has to die, and then he has to come back. So I really kind of think that's. I feel the book feels to me like he had planned really well, probably to the end of Galactic Storm, and maybe 1 or 2 issues past that, because we got the Soul Eater arc. But after that, it just kind of goes elsewhere, and for reasons, Infinity War reasons and other crossover reasons, and it just, and dying. He had to die because, Infinity War, sorry, not die, get ultimately nullified, except not, but I kind of think that's where he lost the plot. It just was overwhelmed. And by that point, he hadn't dealt with the Star Brand yet. It'd been building forever. And so he had to deal with it. And then we get to 50. And 50 kind of feels like a reset, a fresh start a little bit. But then the Star Brand, sucks the book back into all that stuff again. And we get all those, don't get me wrong, they're cool characters, but we had, a boatload, a crap ton of all of these kind of, cool, quirky characters that, some might say are B-list or C-list. Of course, some people might say that about Quasar too, but there were just so many of them. And I think Matt would agree that the Fantastic Four and Namor crossovers.
Yeah. They just wanted to put a logo on the front of a book. It's passable, easily pass.
Just the logo, you're right. Not even the correct number, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. If there was a number at all.
But, I mean, I don't know if it was the crossovers, but the Starbrand stuff was just way too dragged out because, I mean, think about it. He gets it and gets the Starbrand in 31, gives it to Kayla. He doesn't know either one of them has it until he gets nullified and comes back without the band. So he doesn't know he has it until 43. And then he doesn't find out she has it until 50. And
it's just like, yeah, wow. I mean,
yeah,
that's a year and a half of storyline that we, you know, and, you know, for a Quasar fan wanting to read about Quasar, you know, you look at all the guest stars that we had, you know, post Infinity War. You know, you had Eric Masterson, like it was Thunderstrike, not Thor at that point, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, in 47, 48, yeah.
And then you had the Shock Troop, and then you had, you know, you just had all of these characters thrown in. You know, hey, how about we focus on the, you know, the guy that's the title, right? You know, a little bit.
Well, I mean, like, you know, 41, he went through that trope where, you know, the hero gets replaced. That was like a Marvel boy in Avengers issue 41.
Yeah. Because he doesn't even show up in that issue.
No. And hey, 42, if the Punisher can't save you in the 90s, it's
I had blocked out that Punisher appearance, but yeah, you're right. That's another appearance.
it's not even Wendell. It's Marvel Boy. Too.
Yeah. But yeah, I really feel like the Starbrand kind of really kind of infected the book, you know, and ultimately kind of drew attention away from Quasar because, you know, you look at the end of Star. Well, okay, we haven't got to Star Blast yet. Let's talk about about Galactic Storm.
I was going to say, not in order if you want, but yeah, Galactic Storm started with 32 and Will's favorite cover.
My favorite all-time cover of any comic ever in the history of ever. Even, yeah, I just love that.
Oh, cover. Is that your favorite comic cover ever? Ooh.
I love that cover so much. I mean, okay, I've probably talked about this, but the history of the Imperial Guard is that they're basically analogs for the Legion of Superheroes. And I'm a Legion of Superheroes fan too. You know, the flight rings, the Legion's cool. So if you look at that cover, it's really Quasar, confident, staring down, and surrounded by the entire Legion of Superheroes. That's just awesome, okay? That's really awesome.
And the Imperial Guard, I mean, they were created of like Claremont and was it Cockrum?
Yeah, because he had just come over, I think, from the Legion, and so a lot of them are the designs that he was, I think, going to use on some of the Legionnaires. It's been a while since I've read some of that stuff, but there's a good couple of books I think put out by Tomorrow's on like the Cockrum era Legion stuff, like Legion Outpost. I think maybe one of the titles or something like that. But yeah, 32 is awesome.
Oh yeah, and he gets Star Fox again. Oh, that's his first. His first meet up with Star Fox as we do get him again in 59.
Oh, and it's got a great a double-page spread in the middle of just total awesomeness.
Can someone get Will a cigarette, please?
That is, well, and I mean, Capullo's firing on all cylinders. That is the art on this issue is amazing. Harry Candelario's the inker, and it's just the two of them together are working some magic there. It's an awesome issue.
Oh yeah, I mean, between Galactic Storm and Infinity War, I mean, you could tell like Capullo can like do like a big battle scene with like. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'd say one of the only people who could probably do better would be like George Perez or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he was definitely up in his game there. And then I think we get 33 and 34 have a fill-in issue by, is it Rurik Tyler, I think? I think that's what it is. And he did a really good job on the issues. There's a scene at the end of one of them where Quasar actually has his cape piece off. I'm like, oh, that's how that works, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's one piece.
So he takes the blue part off with the symbol, and he's got just a red, shirt with no sleeves on underneath it. And he just puts that back on, and he's good to go.
Oh yeah,
Eating his sandwich in space.
Yeah, because that's in 34. Because he goes in and drags binary out of that.
Mm-hmm. Which and that's something else great about Galactic Storm is that kind of brought Carol Danvers back from Imperial Guard and gets her, back on Earth, and she'll eventually show up in the Volume 3 of Avengers with the Heroes Return, and ultimately, become Captain Marvel in a great series by Kelly Thompson, who we mentioned earlier, Black Widow.
Friend of the show, friend of the Phil's shows.
Yeah, even though it was like a tie, it's a fill in 34. That was like a Capullo cover. That's pretty. I like that cover too.
That's a nice cover too. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, Galactic Storm was good, and then of course we got the Aftermath in 35. Like you said, the Soul Eater.
Yeah, Deathbird. I think is on the cover of 35.
Yep.
Yeah, all those skulls on the cover.
Oh, it's such a.
Then we get the Soul Eater. What
36? They're getting eaten.
Yeah. Oh, and we meet. Yeah, and that's where we first meet. Sorry, not first meet. We encounter Origin again. She's the one. She's the cosmic being in the.
Oh yeah, but we don't know
the egg. Yeah, but we don't know that until later, much later. Like 7 issues, I think, later or something.
Yes. Which leads into 37, where we get the Contemplator, the Dimension of Manifestation.
Which is an awesome cover too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
With Eternity there in the background, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because that Dimension of Manifestations looks so much better when Capullo's drawn it.
Well, okay, so I've droned on at length about my favorite Quasar cover. Matt, do you have one? Phil?
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh wow, big time put on the spot. I don't know. All right, maybe this is kind of a cop out, but Quasar #1.
Ooh,
#1. Just boom. It says it's pretty basic, but it's great. Just flying right at you. Setting the stage, and I think it was. Forget if there's a Marvel Age with a similar cover. I think it was like just a slight variation on it.
Yeah.
But let's see, which one was that?
Paul Ryan. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Marvel Age. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Marvel Age 78. Okay, it's a little bit different than Quasar #1, but.
Because I think didn't they have like an ad in some of the back of when the series was starting? I think they used that image for the.
Yeah, and there's a Quasar. Well, sorry, there's a. I think there's a new #1s type poster or something that has maybe that image, and then like there's She-Hulk, a Moon Knight.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen that, but I think that was like a new #1s poster or something like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing it because he's like right next to Moon Knight, I think.
Mm-hmm. Who? Sorry.
The Moon Knight.
The Moon Knight.
The Moon Knight.
Yeah.
What the
F? Cool. That's an awesome cover because it's the one that set the stage, and
it's just him flying over a city, on his way to space, perhaps. But
yeah, I like those ones.
Uranus. Sorry.
Yeah.
We had to end with the way we started it.
That's right.
I mean, 50's kind of cool with the prism treatment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those ones with like him like front and center on the cover, like you said, issue 1, issue 50, that 34 with him flying out with binary. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's lots of.
There's a lot of creative Quasar covers too, where he's not the center of attention. There's some where he's barely there in some ways, but
Oh, it's a good one where he's in the center of issue 38. He's punching Warlock right in the face.
Yes. It's amazing in my mind. I mean, Quasar had some artists who would really go on to become really, really established artists. I mean, Paul Ryan, he was doing Superman, he was doing Fantastic Four, he did the in the 90s, they did a Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of extra book, and he was the artist, I think, on that, so he's kind of a big deal. Mike Manley, was after Quasar moved on, was doing Batman during the breaking of Batman, I think, right? Or was it? Yeah, because it was the Azrael, I think, Batman.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And then this Capullo guy, I don't think nobody's heard of him for a while, right? But and then Andy Smith, he's done work for Marvel, his own stuff, and I think he was doing a lot of work for CrossGen, that company for a while. It's had lots of artists that have gone on to do. John Hiebink was doing Quasar, and then went on to do some books for Image, and so it's had some really. And then we unfortunately we recently lost Steve Lytle, who's longtime DC artist and did the Legion of Superheroes and Doom Patrol and worked on Marvel Comics Presents. I mean, Quasar had a lot of really high-powered artists.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty cool, and we got a lot of great covers and a lot of great pages. And he got to punch Warlock on the cover of number 38.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Thunderstrike is on a couple of covers too, at least two.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. 47, 48. Oh, but no, the round down Infinity War. Yeah, 39. We got the Return of Death Urge.
Mm-hmm. That's 39, right? Yep.
Yep. And then 40, when he gets nullified, we get the return of our favorite Matt Kona character, Kid Reaper.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Hello, Bunky. See you later.
See you later, Bunky.
Yes, that's what we're doing, kids.
See you later, Bunky.
And then we really start to kind of lose the plot, don't we? I mean, things get a little bit.
Well, yeah, because he gets nullified in 40, and then 40, right first page of 41, Marvel Boy shows up. Or unreasonable effects. And
I wonder, and I have no knowledge or no way to answer this question, but I'm just going to put it out there. I wonder if because Quasar had to die or get nullified due to Infinity War, because Kayla already was showing the Star brand before then, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind, then it's a stupid question. I was going to say, I wonder if he said, "Oh, I'll use the Star brand," and that's the reason it's in the universe. But he'd already decided to bring it in there because Kayla had already. Because during Galactic Storm, we flash back and she's having weirdness with the Star brand already. So, okay, sorry. Stupid question.
Remember, during Galactic Storm, she got attacked in the shower by our second favorite character, the Angler.
That's right.
That's right, kids. Because this is the last episode for a while, so we got to hit all of our big hits. The Angler, Kid Reaper.
See you later, Bunky.
Visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
Oh,
And I'm visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
and Matt Kona always wants it bigger and longer.
It's got to be longer. I need a full-length one.
One thing, the only good thing that Star Blast did for us was give us some pretty crazy drops.
They aren't even
Exactly.
I am God.
But I mean, some of those other ones, like you mentioned, the Shock Troop gave us.
Hey, boys, you look at the party. I love the party.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and our buddy the Contemplator.
I'll put it in my navel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really like the Contemplator from those issues. I thought that was really kind of cool. He's just hanging out, contemplating stuff.
And Grunwald even kind of tried to tie. Grunwald tried to explain why sometimes he's kind of a good guy, and sometimes when he's kind of like a villain, because he's like an imposter when he's going back to the dance.
Because he's from Australia.
Oh, that's right. Dirty Skrull imposter. That's right. We haven't said Skrull imposter in a while. Yeah.
But 40, 41, 42, 43. That whole section after he dies, leading up to 50. I don't know. Something was missing. Something just didn't gel.
The Quantum Man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we don't slap him back on till the end of 47 or beginning of 48, however you want to count it.
Yeah.
And then 49 was just it was basically just the Kayla and her fight, because one just go around looking for a cure for his mom's cancer and threatening death.
Yeah. And going, wait a minute, what am I doing? Hang on.
Hey, get your damn hands off her.
But that's, as much as we kind of, think that's a little weird and wacky, he did learn that he could jump from inside an atmosphere if he just bubbled up first, which is really cool, which means he can move around a lot faster.
Bubble up them nasty side effects, kids.
Exactly. And then we get to 50, right?
Yep. The sparkly cover. I think this is the only special cover he got.
Yep, the only one. I mean, there were die cuts, there were glow in the dark, there were holograms, there were prism covers, there was all these things, and he gets that, right?
Yep. Ooh, for a whole $2.95.
And it was a double-sized issue.
That's right. Get the of course, again, everyone's favorite character, the Man Thing in 50.
I know Grunwald was trying to do the unexpected, but having Quasar purposefully throw the fight because he was smart enough to recognize that anytime he was taking a beating, the good guy got bigger, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, again, I had a problem with this one, just like with 60. It's Quasar had to throw the fight. Yeah,
I mean he's done that twice, in 50 and in 60, kind of through the fight, and I don't know. He and the Surfer were part of the Annihilator's book, but I don't know if they've ever really brought that up,
Hey, remember that time you kicked my ass?
Yeah. I was pretending because the bad guy was using me as, her champion. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I think at 50, he's just like, At the end of 50, I think he was like, should I try to explain that?
Nah. And he was like, Silver Surfer's so cool. Come on, man. He just beat the crap out of you.
Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer so cool. Who is he, Matt Donner?
He's so rad.
Particles on it to make it bigger.
Rad?
No. That's a good one.
Give me a second. That's a thinker.
That's a thinker. Contemplate. We had to contemplate that one.
Yeah.
Will's got to contemplate that.
I'll put it in my navel.
It wasn't that joke wasn't a slam dunk. It wasn't a total miss. It wasn't out nor in. It was just it is. Rad. Okay. Nor in. All right. That's too much. Too much.
We're in or out.
Yeah, it's a phrase. It's a phrasing issue I'm having.
So
dad jokes, man.
After 50, at the end of 50, I thought it was kind of interesting. You saw all of these characters on the last page, right? You had the Shock Troop, you had the Thing, Did you even have? Did you have all the Fantastic Four? Was the Human Torch there? I can't remember.
I think the Torch and Invisible Woman were there because
it's this giant big deal because all kinds of stuff was going on, and then it's all taken care of.
Exactly. Warlock shows up. Get out of here, Warlock. Yeah, because Doctor Strange was like assembled everybody, and it's like, nope, it's over.
Playing volleyball, it's cool.
Yeah. Did anybody bring a picnic basket?
Some of the Squadron Supremes. Again, it's like the 90s was such a weird time. It's like, oh yeah, this thing might destroy like all of reality, but it's like no Avengers showed up.
Yeah.
What were they doing?
What were they ever doing? They couldn't show up for Star Blast. They couldn't show up for this. It's like, what the hell?
Come on, he's a reserve member.
Yeah.
But you know why they stopped showing up, right?
They were all wearing jackets.
Well, that too. But I mean, Captain America left, so who was leading them?
That's right, Black Knight.
No, Black Widow.
Oh yeah. I get the joke now. Yes, very good.
Queen of the Disappearing Act. Yeah.
From Galactic Storm. Where did she go? Nobody knows.
Nobody seemed to ask. I know she wasn't on the Earth team. She wasn't on anything.
Well, and then we get this weird kind of reset for 51. Suddenly, all of that's back in the past, and he's hanging out with Kayla, and they're driving the quantum car.
Project Pegasus. They get up to Project Pegasus,
and we finally get the Angler explained. 50 issues. No, 48 issues later? Yeah, 48 issues later.
Well, I mean, he showed up in 3, and then remember, he stalked Kayla in the shower.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was in the 32 or 33, right?
During Galactic Storm, yeah. But he basically just showed up to get his butt kicked.
Yeah, exactly. But this time he brings his... big brother.
Oh, that's right.
The geometer, right?
I remember Ray's feedback. He's like, what the heck is this?
And you have to kind of admit, hey, it's going to be a hard, go back to the beginning of the universe. You can change it there, and you might want to take all your energy, so change us all back. Okay, dude. See ya.
I don't think he can succeed, but if he does, you'll never know it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Seems a little nonchalant, but hey, whatever. It worked, right?
Oh, I think I think Grunwald even set the rules. You couldn't change the past. Well, we could help this.
Just an alternate reality would form. An alternate timeline. So
I told you the alternate way to get rid of the geometer. He should have ended 52 and should have been like, oh yeah, you want to travel in time? Yeah, there's this time platform. This nice, kindly King of Latveria will let you borrow his time.
I don't know. That's kind of risky because if he doesn't take Doom out, then Doom is.
He loves stealing power. Yeah, he'll try to jackal that up. He'll put the geometer in his sex dungeon and try to steal his power.
And he's not exactly forgiving, so he would remember it. Forever.
Because every couple of years, Doom steals someone's power, and it's all like,
I am God.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was a 2-parter, so 51 and 52.
Yes, because remember, 53 was the aborted next date, and then we get Warlock.
Warlock, that's right.
Warlock and Moondragon. Yeah.
And he did, although Grunwald did something interesting in that.
What?
Kind of comparing the answers of Captain Marvel to Wendell's, and he doesn't say which ones are different.
I think only one was different.
One was different, yeah.
It was 4 out of 5 were the same, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I'm just, as a reader in the 90s, I think I hit peak Warlock saturation very early in the 90s, and it's just been ever since.
It didn't take much.
Oh no, because I mean, all those Infinity events. That was the thing that always rubbed me the wrong way with all those Warlock. It was just like Starvin's like, oh, this guy is the greatest. It's like, really? Show me why.
Yeah, he's so smart and Machiavellian, and
he fought Thanos. Yeah, so what? Who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly. At this point, who hasn't?
I fought Thanos first. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Hell, go do your research. I mean, Hellcat was like hanging on to his Thanos copter.
Yeah.
Yes, kid. There's an actual comic page out there. You can look it up. Thanos is in a yellow helicopter?
I think so. It's pretty awesome.
With his name written on the tail of it. Yeah.
You know, and I think he likes, is it Hostess fruit pies or is it the
Hulk loves Hostess fruit pies. You know that. He'll
And
kill
beans.
for them. Yeah.
He loves beans too.
Yeah.
Smash. Oh my god, that's another staple of the early Quantum Zones that kind of got phased out. Remember when we did the food pie ads? Well, it was probably like 70s issue or
yeah. When we're like Project Pegasus Saga and Marvel Team Up. Yeah, I mean Marvel 2-in-1.
And we did those Hulk Captain America issues. Like, Marvel man, that's stupid. Man.
So we got the questions. The karmic thing with Warlock in 53 was 54 was not Star Blast yet, was it, or was it?
Yeah, 54 was Star Blast.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, because 58, 59, and 60 were non-Star Blast, and that finishes out the series.
I don't think. Yeah, did you say 57? Yeah, because 57 was the Kismet one. 58 was the race.
Yeah, 59 was the fill-in issue with writer Ron Mars, but Andy Smith was the penciler who was the penciler back before 50. So, and then the final issue, yeah. I think we've talked about Star Blast a lot recently.
Yes.
It wasn't as many parts, but I'm sure you'll agree. Didn't Star Blast seem much longer than Galactic Storm?
Yeah.
It did. And the way it ended. I mean, if you look at Star Blast number 4, it's like problem, battles, fights. Oh no, somebody's dying. Oh no. Last page. Solve. Done. See ya. Yeah, it's just like all gone.
I know, and it's like they were just like racing around in those Star Blast, and then was it the penultimate issue? Maybe Take a Drink, or the one before it. Quasar doesn't even know about Skeletron until like 1 or 2 before the last issue.
Yeah, I know. It's we talked about there being just so many characters. It's just a ton of characters. Half of them didn't even like the Fantastic Four nameless stuff, like you said, added nothing to the main plot. It's basically, now that I think about it, it's like not even trying to, like Skeletron basically leading Quasar around, like you lead a horse around with a carrot with Kayla. Yeah.
Like here, she's over here.
And then we go back to the new universe again. And it was cool the first time, but then the second time we're like, oh god, is this ever going to be over?
And I wonder why he did. Locking Kayla on the new universe Earth. Couldn't we have purged her that Star brand? What's the point of? Is that just to give him extra motivation to leave Earth in 60? Maybe.
I'm not quite sure.
You still would have had a sad ending if she had made it back to Earth and he had to fake his death like he did, or just.
If the series would have continued on, maybe she wouldn't have been locked away. But I think Grunwald, the really kind of the scene that he was really, really, really wanting to get at was the Living Tribunal saying, "Hey, you can go, or you can live up to your responsibilities." And what does he do? He lives up to his responsibilities and stays in the Marvel Universe, right?
Wait, 3 dates with this woman, maybe?
I know. It's...
Again, it's like how we said, it's like 18, 20 issues. They weren't even together. It's like, I really don't feel like
the work was put in to really establish that relationship and show why it was something that, you know, both of them were trying to fight for.
I think he would have got the story would have, the end especially would have been a lot better if he had Grunwald probably would have had more room to work. I mean, between the crossovers, I mean, 60 issues is like a decent series length, but it's like, what was he on, like 10 years on Captain America? If he would have had 10 years to do Quasar.
Yeah, and I think or, you know, say he's coming up on 38, 39, 40, and he knows at 40 he's only got 20 issues left. If he knew at that point, I think the last 20 issues would have been really tight and really on point.
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of this meandering.
He did not know.
He didn't know. And
I think we said it, but I think Star Blast might have been like their Hail Mary to try to get sales up, and then it was like, but at that point they were canceling books
left and right and in front and behind and everywhere.
So Star Blast had been like the greatest thing on earth. It might still like much.
Yeah, and you know, even if it would have, for it to even have a hope of succeeding as a Hail Mary, you know, all the little errors that crept in, you know, there just more care needed to be taken with it. And, you know, as much as I love what Grunwald did on so many things, probably someone really exercising a stronger, you know, editor function on it, saying, you know, no, this is not working. This is too much. You know, we need to do something else. But I mean, Grunwald was basically the number 2 guy at Marvel at that point. So, but it wasn't enough to keep the book alive.
No, and if Star Blast had been successful, again, we might have got another year or so in the book. Yeah.
I mean, he did so much in Marvel at that time, as you said, and writing 59 issues on top of Star Blast and other projects, Captain America and editorials, things like that. It's impressive that he did that much, but you could see burnout, and if there was a good group around him that could, like you said, give him a little veto or just sort of step in, and who knows, maybe there was an element of being intimidated, since Grunwald at this point is such a legend and everything, that's didn't want to step on any toes or mess with the magic, you know. But,
well, you know, his Cap stuff was really good and steady and solid, and then at some point it did start to kind of dip off, you know, and then ultimately, you know,
you could say it will, the armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Capel, sorry. You know, maybe he just reached that point with Quasar sooner. But, you know, I really feel like, as much as he loved Captain America, Quasar was the book that he really wanted to do. And I feel that in those first 40 issues. You know, this is the book. This is the most important book in the world to me. And I guess I don't really feel that in the last third of the book. But
well, I mean, look, we mentioned Captain America. It's like, I think Captain America and Quasar, at some point after Galactic Storm, both his runs was kind of
And that could have, you know, nothing to do with Grunwald and everything to do with, you know, office politics and Marvel and everything that was going on. You know, the bankruptcy was looming at that point, and there was all kinds of stuff going on. So it may have not had anything to do with Grunwald and everything to do with the working conditions, you know.
I mean, the crossovers, because even that last issue of Capsule, they tried to like squeeze that into an Infinity War crossover, because it's like it's attacked by his evil double for like 3 pages maybe.
And you know, it's also times were changing too. You know, I don't know that. You could continue to get away with saying, hey, here's a 16-page story or a 14-page story with an 8-page backup. And we're going to continue those, you know, like they did in, you know, the summer crossover stuff. You know, I don't know that it may have been too late to kind of do things like that because, comics were increasing in price at the time and, Marvel was having problems.
And plus, too, I mean, Quasar and Captain America, his two babies, were like Boy Scouts, and we're in the middle, smack in the middle of the grim and gritty 90s, too.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. And, of course, we did get our Punisher and Ghost Rider appearances, right?
Even in Capwolf, we got Wolverine and Cable.
Hey, we had Wolverine in Quasar, too, in the big battle with Thanos.
Yeah.
Well, and Wolverine and the X-Men, and was it 29?
Oh yeah,
like that one page. Yeah, they come back to the mansion. It's just like,
Yeah.
Oh, you mutants are you're too
genetically unpredictable.
Genetically unstable. Yeah.
Damn, this let a guy down easy.
Yeah.
Come on.
But
you're not schnicked at me on the first date.
Yeah. I mean, I give like the first 40 issues an A+, and then B minus. Star Blast really brings kind of the average down. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the series is a good series, and I really wish Marvel would give us an omnibus of it. We've got 2 trades that get us up to
25.
Up to 25, I think. Yeah. So get through Cosmos and Collision, but there's a lot of great Capullo art, and there's the Steve Lytle art, and then there's some good really good Andy Smith art, and John Hebank and Grant Mime, and there's lots of good art and decent stories past that. So collect the whole series and let's put it on our bookshelf.
I just wonder if maybe they're worried it wouldn't sell right now, but if they're waiting to if the character shows up in the MCU, that's when they'll pull the trigger.
That's possible, but they Dazzler has an omnibus out there. I mean, there's lots. I think so. I could be wrong. We may, maybe I imagine that, but
Oh, thank you. Now we know what Matt Coda is going to be reading his Chow.
The Dazzler omnibus. Hey, Wendell shows up in some of those issues.
What was the name of that omnibus? Bedazzled?
Bedazzler. Oh, sorry.
Oh, come on, Marvel, too.
Oh man.
But it's it was really unlike any other book Marvel was putting out at the time.
Yeah.
Captain America is Captain America, and there's certain expectations about Captain America, but this book it definitely wasn't grim and gritty. And it was very, it had kind of an eccentric approach to the Marvel Universe, which was, pure Grunwald, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it was fun, and I guess it's missed. I miss it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, the first 30 or 40 issues, you could tell the love he puts into the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
It was both a throwback and kind of ahead of its time. It sort of didn't really fit into where Marvel was then. I don't know. The way I wish we had the numbers to see the sales issue to issue and be able to compare it analytically, but it's also a series it may have some 90s sensibilities, but it sort of tells a story that's timeless, a character that's evergreen, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what attracted me to it. Well.
All right. Well, before we get to our final thoughts, we have to end this episode the way we end every episode of the Quantum Zone, but especially for the last one. Got Ray feedback. All right, everyone. So, yes, our friend Ray, who you've been a long-time fan of the Quantum Zone, we've been hearing for a while, host of Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast, To Know Hers, To Fear Her, the A Spider-Woman podcast, and of course, he's one of the Scarlet Pimps talking Scarlet Spider last Tuesday of every month right here on this podcast. And of course, the big one is what will go down in history for Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. All right, so for the maybe the last Quantum Zone feedback ever, let's see what Ray had to say.
Hello, Quantum Zoners. This is Ray. Just going to leave some final thoughts, I guess, for this last retrospective of the second half or so of second 2/3 of the Quasar run. Now, first of all, I just want to say, guys, it's been a fun ride on the Quantum Zone. So there's always a little bit sad. It's a little bit of sadness that it's coming to an end. But you guys have covered everything to do with Quasar, so I really can't ask for any more than that. And it's been so much fun listening to you guys and following through your read-throughs as you go through all the issues. So a big thank you as a Quasar fan, and as I'm sure there are many other Quasar fans listening, a big thanks for all that you've done in the Quantum Zone. But anyway, for this feedback, I guess it's issues 26 onwards. I guess overall, I mean, we all know our thoughts on this. I think it still continued quite well. Looking at the Infinity Gauntlet crossover and then Operation Galactic Storm, there were some really good elements there for Quasar. Made him quite interesting. Still had a very stable, good-looking kind of artist, so art within the book, it was still quite strong, I think, until about 40, maybe 42, and then things kind of got, I don't know, once unfortunately Blue Marvel, is that the guy that comes back, he started messing around. It was good to see him trying to usurp, I guess, Quasar or Wendell's position, going up against the likes of the Avengers. But things started to, I think, unravel a little in that sense. And although we still get some of the issues that involved a lot of Grunwald's cosmic created entities, which I found really enjoyable to watch, the likes of Soul Eater. And I think I can't even remember, I think it's a anomaly. It's that long kind of serpentine-like cosmic creature. We see that back there. Anthropomorphology or something, anthropomorphic, that being as well, that kind of generates the visage of non-corporal beings. All that sort of stuff was really cool and really fun to explore. But around 45 going onwards, and we're going into the territory of the likes of the Geometer and like Quagmire, when that starts to be explored, I found it kind of waned a bit. And as much as I like the Squadron Supreme and actually the new universe that is introduced, I don't think it had enough legs to sustain it as it kind of, ambled towards its 60-issue run. Issue 50 was still quite fun as well because we get returns of big hitters like I think it was Eternity and the Living Tribunal. So we get more familiar characters. And the less said about Star Blast, the better. So it kind of did end in a little bit of it did plateau, it did fizzle. We do see what happens to Kayla as well, so that was good. It's interesting though because I was on another Facebook group. It's for the Epic Collections, and the host there, Curtis Findlay, he put it out there. If Quasar was to have an Epic Collection, what do they do? I mean, like, do they include those crossover issues or don't they? Because Epic Collections are known for lumping together these events. So for the likes of Operation Galactic Storm, which I have the Epic Collection for, it's got the Quasar issues there, but should it be included in the actual Quasar Epic Collection? And I feel it does because Mark Grunwald has, although they are tie-ins, there are so many continuing threads throughout the issues. It would be unfortunate if they were left out. I mean, so for the likes of Infinity War, where Quasar is like nullified. I mean, sure, he doesn't play a big part in Infinity War in that sense because he's gone, but you see what happens to him, like when he is nullified and his journey through that. So you can't not include that in a complete collection of the Quasar run, if that makes sense. You certainly should add it into an Infinity War compendium or omnibus, but I think it really does stand on its own as well as really part of the Quasar canon. So yeah, having said that, yeah, I mean, overall, as I said, unfortunately, I think the first half of this series was a lot better than the second half, although there were little bits here and there from different issues of the latter half that really did pay off, I guess, reading the whole series from go to woe. Anyway, guys, all the best. Quantum Zone is, I'm sure I'll catch you again around in the new Green Lantern podcast, which is a very exciting venture, but a little sad to see Wendell go. And hopefully if Quasar does show himself in the MCU or in Disney Plus, hopefully we can revive, or you can revive the Quantum Zone, and I'll be listening for sure. Anyway, guys, signing off, and thank you once again, and well done, and yeah, keep it quantum.
Thank you, Austin fanboy.
Thank you, Ray, for everything.
Thanks, Ray.
With that, yes, thank you, Ray. Yeah, like we'll be talking on all the other shows anyway. But yeah, but no, he makes a point. It's like, would we rather see him in the MCU, or I mean, you could probably flesh him out more in like a Disney Plus series.
Mm-hmm. And I think it would make more sense because the original conception of the series was to explore the little visited corners of the Marvel universe and see all the weird and strangeness out there.
Oh yeah.
And you could do that better in a series than you could in a single movie.
And plus Disney's so good at that stuff. You could be like, oh yeah, well here's how you do a Superman story, or here's how you do a Green Lantern story.
Mm-hmm.
Just to wait for all the articles to be like, man, this Quasar good. How come I never heard of it? And it's like,
we try.
all right. So, any final thoughts? We won't be back this way for a while.
It's a good series.
I'm sure we'll be back at some point.
I'm just saying the right way.
Yeah.
Watch it be like 2 months. It's like, oh, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think I jumped the gun with my final thoughts, but I love the series, and I loved going back and re-examining it with a fine-tooth comb and relying on the wisdom and knowledge that the two of you have about the land of Quasar and Wendell Vaughn and all that encompasses it. So it's been real nice. Thanks, guys, and I look forward to the future in different galaxies. Different
universe.
To be guarded. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes crazy with one Quasar. Wait till we get to a ton of Green Lanterns. All right, so yes, join us next week for episode 1 of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I can already follow us. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We would have a Facebook group, Book of Oa. So email us for episode 1. Of course, we'll get in some general Green Lantern talk, but we're going to cover Showcase 22, the first appearance of Hal Jordan, and the Green Lantern Emerald Dawn, the first miniseries, which is like the 1990 retelling of Hal Jordan's origin. So send your thoughts on that, especially you, Ray. Curious. All right, so email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And like I said, you can find links to all of our Green Lantern social media. Get on board before we start that. Links to the YouTube channel. Of course, it'll be here. Links to the Patreon. Links to merch. Links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember, support our sponsors, Tweak Audio and Hunt to Killer. Use the code Southgate for a discount on both of those. Go pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. And you can get that on Amazon. And what you do, use the code for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support, well, all of our shows, this show, the next show, all of the shows, the network, and of course, that cosmic bad man, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain. So says Master 2. Please kick me in the pants. Mark my words.
All right, Matt Kona, where can people find you practicing your Maws?
Yeah, you can find me taking deep breaths at Matt Kona on Twitter and Instagram. I'm on Facebook at that name too.
Oh.
That's it.
Slow down. We need this for drops.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Again, this is...
See you later, bunkies.
All right. Will Allred, master of the Quantum Zone. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and all those places. You can also find my self-published work, Diary of Night, at diaryofnight.com. And then you can find Crossover Division, which is the latest series that we just launched at crossoverdivision.com. And you can find all kinds of really cool stuff about Quasar at the Quantum Zone, which is quantumzone.org.
I hope it's going somewhere nice. He goes limp in my grip. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
I'll put it in my navel.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us 152 times. Thank you to these gentlemen that I know.
And thank you to you guys. It's been fun.
We're going to take a quantum leap part of the time. Once we get to 3 planets, higher proton character. Hers. Punching Warlock in the face. All right. Come back next week for Green Lantern. And we'll see you one day for Quasar. But until then, Quantum Zoners, remember, keep it Quasar.